Hello, everyone. We are very happy to have you here on our first interview for the day on one of our last days of the UNESCO Center for Peace Summer program. Today, our delegates were enlightened by Mrs. Claudia, and we are very excited for you to be part of this space. We have here Mr. Gidi Joken, a social justice activist, executive director of UNESCO Center for Peace, but also most of all an advocate for youth. And right now, we are hoping for you to enjoy this space. I am Mayreli Luna Garcia, Youth Ambassador for UNESCO Center for Peace in Mexico, and also in the interviewer for the summer program and further. So, Caris, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ireli. My name is Haris Christopoulou. I am 21 years old. I'm from Cyprus and I'm currently studying law at the University of Cyprus. I'm at the last year of my undergraduate degree and I'll be interviewing today here with my very good friend Ireli. Yeah, that's all from me. I'm very excited for this interview.
Charis, could you please do us the honor to present Mrs. Claudia?
Yes. So I had the honor today to see and learn who Miss Claudia is. I have searched about her, about what she has done so far, and the things that made me a good impression is the fact that she is a lawyer and she focuses on human rights and constitutional law. She represents Colombia in many organizations and he's distinguished and he has done very a lot of initiatives in the area of social and technological initiatives, and she had a lot of ideas and transformative solutions in those fields, and I'm very impressed by her work. So yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the questions. Charis, the floor is yours.
Yes. The first question that I have, which is more general, and when I first learned that you will be here with us, I would very much like to ask you that you have succeeded so many things in your life, and especially in the field of international human rights, which is a field that in the world, women do not have that possibility to aspire and achieve that because we as women sometimes face many difficulties in reaching at that area. What would you say to girls at a teenage age that aspire to have a job like you have, uh, based on some difficulties that the women have in recent years?
I think no matter where you are, human beings are powerful. We can overcome any kind of challenge. This COVID is showing us how strong we are as a species. And the problem with girls is we have let society to tell us which is okay or not. And I want to encourage girls and teenagers to believe in herself, to go for their dreams, to be strong. We don't want just beautiful girls. We want smart girls and girls who wants to be unstoppable, because everything is in your mind. The most you believe in yourself, the better you will perform. In my experience, the most risk I have taken, the better I have performed. So don't be afraid. The worst enemy someone could have is their self.
Yeah, thank you very much for that answer. Thank you.
Mr. Guy, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you so much. It's a blast for all of us here to listen to you and see that passion and see the natural way you are presenting all this concept that seem foreign. You touched something there about the universal income, which is a threat for some of these corporations, some of these people that believe that you know. They can afford to waste that amount of money, right? Mhm. But giving someone a little bit of money, I'm in the US where we had a candidate, Young, who was proposing $10,000 to every single American. People like, oh, that was going to end up the civilization. Yet when there's a problem, they don't mind, just the amount of money that they waste on corruption. It's a tiny fraction of that will actually be used to serve all these ones. So my thing is just like, how did it got here? I want people listening to know that, of course, not every child is raised up, no little girl, I don't know, is raised up knowing that, okay, they can aspire to anything they wanted to be. So how did it got here? What was the click? What's the moment that you realize, oh my God, I can do anything any man can do. I'm something better than many of them. So please walk us through that, so that I just want our delegate to hear, so some people to hear how you got where you are here today from where you started.
I came from a very traditional family. My father is a doctor, and I'm the youngest of my family, and they always take care of me a lot. So
Okay.
when I was at the school, I was little crazy since I was born, and they were always concerned about how activist I was. But I think the things that happen in your life change you, and in my particular case. The fact that I was born in Medellin and that I lived the violence in the 90s, I think it changed my life because being a teenager, I saw people near me to die, and that's horrible. So I didn't want someone to live the same that I live, even if I was a privileged girl.
Hmm.
That situation of being afraid all the time, being afraid of living terrorist attack, for example, it's horrible. And that motivated me to move to Bogota and attend, in my opinion, the best law school in my country. So that was my idea. And I'd say I will go there no matter what happened. I had 17 years old at that time. It was
Wow.
hard to persuade my parents to move to Bogota. And since that moment, I'm a citizen of the world. I'm always thinking about where I go, what can I learn. But it has about your, it has a relation about your purpose, your own purpose, and the things you want to achieve. And for me, it's always been super important to feel that I'm part of a society, that I can create a positive contribution in the society, and that's my force, where my force come from.
Okay. Thank you so much. There's one thing we have in common. I was also the last one in the family. Very modest. I don't like the term poor because it has a connotation, but but we had love, just like you. I was a little bit spoiled, but also challenged. So in many ways, and
See.
I like that connection. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, I'm amazed by your story because I'm 17 years old. So that's
Okay, time to move to Bogota.
With your hands.
oh my god. Oh my god. Yes. Yes, but yes, well, yeah, your answer. But well, so one of the topics that you discussed in the conference, I think really hit a special note on the majority of our delegates and also on people nowadays, as we all know, the workplace shifted from one day to another, to the office to the home office, and also for children and youth. and we are in the situation where we are forgetting to have a balance uh, today more than ever. So, on that topic, Mrs. Claudia, what would be your recommendation or your message to our delegates for them to remember that they that this balance will allow them to have further growth in the future, and they may burn out themselves being so young.
I think we are in a very interesting moment because right now everyone is thinking about uh, the whole society, the role of institutions, the families, the personal lives, and it is. I think it is extremely important. It is a moment in which nothing will be the same than before, and right now this is I think we were obsessed by the idea of working, as I mentioned before. The work is the center of liberal and capitalist societies, and right now we are realizing that maybe we can live better with less. That's super hard because it totally changed the basis of the um, economic model as well. But people is always realizing that spending time with their family, with their sons and kids and everyone, it's super important. So the role of parenthood is changing as well. Right now, we're people that are taking care of their whole life. So we are talking about this concept of self-sufficiency. So you need to prepare your food at home. You need to take care of your kids. You need to do your job. You need to do a lot of things at the same time. So if you want to survive, you need to balance. You need to balance that situation. I think right now, because it's a very um, complicated change, people is adapting their self. But as I mentioned before, many tasks will be automated, and I hope people will have more time and we recover those part of their life that miss, because we as Western countries, we are so focused on the superficial layer of our life. Now the idea of self acknowledge, it's super important. And if we want to survive as a species, I think we need to think as in the term of sustainability as a whole, because before we thought that sustainability was related just about the climate change and the environment, and it's not. Sustainability is the way we interact with others, the way we design the economic system, the social system, and everything. And right now we're rethinking all of those aspects. Other way, next pandemic will be worse and worse and worse, and we won't be sustainable. That's a fact.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, Charis, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Riley. Um, so my next question is the following. Um, so even before the outbreak of COVID-19, technology was a major part of our lives, of our societies, of our workplaces. And in your presentation, you have argued about the acceleration of technology in order to be used to workplaces that could be better for our economies in the post-COVID-19 era. So my question is, uh, after the COVID-19, even if and by already being an on this situation, we have seen many people losing their jobs and suffering from unemployment. So how is the world going to have on the first hand the the acceleration of technology? And on the second hand, how is the work going to face the unemployment? So they are two forces that um, are contrary. And how are we going to solve such a thing?
I think we need to think about the future without thinking about the past. What I mean is, some people think that it is something that's gonna happen, and then we're going to recover our past life, and it is not the case. It's not gonna happen. So if we stay attached to the past, probably we will be in a very pessimistic environment, because the KPIs of success are going to be terrible, because we used to have some indicators to measure success that won't be feasible right now. But if we think about, if we focus on the idea of building a new thing, that's why I was talking about narrative. There's a lot of optimism around, because it happened every revolution has created new ways of employment, for example. But we need to create that new economy. So if we stay attached to the past, we are going to lose our savings, and that's all. But there's some spectacular cases. There are companies that are growing at rates of 600%. It is the case of Coursera, for example. So not everyone is losing. I used to say this is the time where we're going to see the new billionaires. We're going to see the new Fords or the new Rockefellers, because the whole industry is growing right now. So we need to see those opportunities. For example, if you think about tourism, of course, we're going to recover our idea of traveling, but maybe it's gonna happen in local environments, or maybe when people travel to other countries, it will take long trips, because they want to take advantage of this opportunity. Or we're going to see micro communities in which people co-living and co-work and everything. So I think there's a huge opportunity, but we need to think differently. If we think the same, there's no way we'll recover, and that's why there are some experts saying it will take 10 years to recover the same level of the economy. But there's a lot of opportunities. So think about, for example, the possibility right now that people is teleworking. You can get access at any job in the world. So the workplace is not your country or your city as it used to be. The workplace is the whole world. So those who has the talent to move faster and want to do it, they will gain a lot of opportunities. But we need politicians as well to rethink this future, because in terms of public policies, for example, and labor policies, we need to create a different ecosystem. The idea that you get an employment and you're going to be there for years, um, it's becoming obsolete. We need to split the idea of social security of the idea of work. We need everyone to have social security, because right now we have, it's possible the work will be divided in small chunks. So maybe I will work one day for you and another for other, and it's nice because it allows me to do whatever I want, not whatever I need to do. There's a lot of people that hate their works, and right now we have the possibility to do different things, and people can have a personal agenda, no agenda, an agenda dedicated to satisfy the needs of their employees. Now we are building the social contract, in my opinion. So there's a lot of opportunities, but we need governments that really take the risk to redesign the whole society.
Yes, thank you
Wow.
very much for your answer. Thank you very
That
much.
yeah, that talk alone is another talk for another day because you put so much in that answer. But my next question, again, I do like the fact that when in your presentation and even here you were talking about a society that's coming in which there's a possibility of not just be guided by work, but work is going to be, where people could actually start living the life they aspired. Okay, and we have here a concept. I talked to during the plan. I talk about the peace land that you'll be hear more about, and but again, that's another thing that we see coming. Okay, right now we have this concept of peace land where we are inviting young people to create small zones of peace across the globe, right? Small zone of peace, and we call it village. To use the term, you actually we haven't met, but we are using the same term, the village. I grew up in a physical village. Today, you can create your own village, and across the globe, you could have 5 people, 25 people across the globe creating a village. That's concept. And then now the other next aspect is that the life that we are thinking about. We all think about this world where we're going to live in harmony. We can start creating it. That's the concept of peace land, right? So in the one of the previous speaker, and there were two of them that had an amazing workshop, Henry Christopher and no, Henry Lieberman and Christopher Fried from MIT Lab, people that have been working. The title of their presentation was to young people, Peace in Your Lifetime. See, so somehow you are going the same direction, right? And that's why I'm very, very happy. They are doing a presentation and people say you're going to have peace in your lifetime, and you are saying the same thing. So this is very, really rewarding for me. But their proposition, which I found really interesting for someone that have been working on peace, is that there's a technology that's going to make things happen. In the past, people used to believe that peace was going to be treaties between countries. You know, Henry and is a Franco say, forget about the government. We can do it. We don't need a permission from the government to create peace here. Let's just create an environment where, well, people are going to have wealth. You have everything you need. We don't care about the government, right? So I can see some synergies in here. So as you were saying in your in the workshop, also that um, finding a purpose is a key in achieving this. So I want you also to talk about that process. Uh, and again, we're on the same page here. That's what we do, helping these young people and even less young ones like me to find their purpose, right? So what's the process in you? Is that something that you think happen like this, or bien you face challenges, you realize something? So what if a child or delegate ask you, Claudia, I really love what you're saying, but help me through the step on finding my purpose. What will you say to them?
Oh, I don't think it's easy to find your purpose. I think I really know who I am when I get 40, and it's a constant. The idea is not to give up, because, as I mentioned before, I start my purpose becoming a lawyer. I thought that the way of law will be the way to achieve my idea. But then I get a little bit frustrated because I said it's so technical, but that at the end there's so many people that can even get access to the justice system. So I used to say that they promise something at the university that is not achievable, in my opinion, because I'm a doer. I want
Okay.
to see
Yes.
things done.
Yeah.
So that's why, and there's also things that happen in life. So when I finish my master degree and I come back to my country, the peace process failed. So it was frustrating because I said I did all those studies. I don't want to go to a different country because my intention is to support my country, and right now the peace process failed.
Mhm.
And that's why, by coincidence, I start to work in a technology company, and I realized that through social action, I can do uh, better if in comparison of being a lawyer. So
Mhm.
I started working a foundation, and working in that foundation, I discovered the power of tech, and I fall in love of technology. I said, this is the power I need. At some point of my life, I said, I will give up everything in my life, and I'm going to move to the Silicon Valley because I want to see how does it work in the best place of the world of doing that. And that's why I moved there, because I was looking for that purpose. And at that time in Colombia, the government of Colombia started the peace process negotiation again. So I said,
Mhm.
I think technology could be a magnificent tool
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
peace in my country. So when I moved to the US, I did it because of it. And being there, I realized again that working on education was a very good strategy. So I was, again, a little bit frustrated about the impact of tech and education. I said, we won't change the world doing that. And once I went to the Silicon Valley, I realized that maybe it would be a good idea. So I go back to my country. So just the thing that I want you to know is not easy to find your purpose. It's something that you um, really want to do. But in my opinion, there's no sense of living a life without purpose. So it depends of everyone.
Thank you so much. So understand that yes, a purpose is not something that you grab, you say, I have it now, you can sleep. No, it's something that is constant, permanent. As long as you want to, you desire to change the world, that to make things better, you're going to find it. Okay, thank you so much.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
thank you. And now for my last question, this is more of a personal question for me, what I would love for you to answer me. So Mrs. Claudia, what do you think was the importance for you to study law at your home country?
I think it's extremely important. Be a lawyer is always useful. I'm used to say that I'm ex-lawyer, but I can't deny that it helps me a lot to develop a systematic way of thinking, to design ideas and understand how to achieve it, because it's a career in which it's a very structured career. So they teach you, if they do their job well, they teach you how to think and to have a critical sense regarding the society. So no matter I don't work as a lawyer, I think it gives me a broader perspective of the society, and it allowed me to go work everywhere, in a company, in a social context. Uh, I think this idea of interact with others, it's also very useful. People that study law need to learn how to express themselves, how to write well, and that's very important when you want to create a positive impact in a community, because you need to influence others and listen others and build solutions in which everyone feel that are included. So that, so even if I'm not working as a lawyer, I appreciate a lot of what I learned in the university.
Thank you. I very much appreciate it. So, um, so Mrs. Claudia, we thank you so much for your conference, for the interview. You enlightened our delegates, and it was a perfect way for us to start our day. And we thank you so much for the vision that you have for us to share your story, and most of all for you to now be part of the UNESCO Center for Peace family. We're very happy that you are now joining us.
No, it's an honor, and I encourage you to go there and change the world.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you so
sure
much.
will.
We'll be reaching out to you very soon. Thank you. Okay. You all have a wonderful.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.